Hello, I am Carson Melton. Sometimes I go by Fond on the internet. This is the 9th video diary of a something outside of time upon a falling rocket ship. It is currently about 15 minutes till noon, the earliest I've ever made one of these. Technically late, I'm technically a day behind, so I should be making 2 of these today. One right now, one before I go to sleep. And then I'll be caught up on track. I've kind of missed a day, but I do not plan on missing at least the same amount of uploads. Then I can kind of justify missing one the other night. Or posting it like at a weird time. Alright. This video is... firstly, maybe I'll start doing these more often in the morning when I wake up before work. Earlier than this, it might be a better idea to do them in the morning when I wake up, first thing when I wake up. Anyway, this video diary is about the last few days, and quite frankly, I had a relapse. I had a porn relapse, which is not good, and isn't really the worst thing ever. However, I can tell I'm in a weird position where, because of how gloomy it is outside, it's literally raining right now. These are my 2 days off. It's been raining both days, storming all day, or really humid because of it. So I haven't really been able to, I haven't went outside. It's lightning, wow. I haven't went outside, so I kind of just like, time has not existed. I got high on those mushrooms. I have something to talk about that too. I got a little bit too insane. Got high on those mushrooms at night, stayed up way too late, so my time's been all off. I've been waking up really late, sleeping late. So my time doesn't really exist, and it kind of feels like these days off are being wasted. Which kind of, in reality, they kind of are. They kind of are being wasted. It's really put me in a bad mood, like things aren't working. And I can feel myself teetering on the line of a potential full relapse if I'm not careful. I've stopped that. I prevented that, and I think I'll be okay, especially now I'm talking about it. But I suppose I'll kind of go into like what happened, where things went wrong, I suppose, and where like things are kind of going right, or like how I'm holding on. Let's start with, so the last video I was on mushrooms. I was kind of coming off of them at that time. And I was really enjoying myself, but I kind of was like, I didn't take enough mushrooms, so I didn't really feel like a good enough experience. So I decided I actually have them here. Let's see if I can grab them. Sorry, excuse me. I don't know why I'm saying that. Oh my gosh, just lost the pen. I need to clean my room too. So I ended up taking an edible, a delta-8 edible, to like try and carry it on. But I forgot just how strong these things are. I actually need to probably throw these away. If you can see this. These are little gummies, delta-8 gummies, that are 125 milligrams per gummy. And I already learned my lesson. I can't even half one. So I ate like a fourth of one, and that was still too much. It sent me to high hell. So after I recorded my video and I took one of those, once it kicked in, I ended up like, the mushrooms is cool, and I was perfectly fine on them. Then I took that and I went like full like drug addict, like freak out paranoia type mode, where I'm like on the couch. I feel like I have to pee 24/7, but I can't pee, and I'm worried I'm about to piss myself, but I'm not going to piss myself. Then I can't sleep, so I'm like, I'm so tired trying to go to bed, but then I wake up in the middle of the night freaking out because my heart rate's so high from the edibles. So lesson learned, these things are really bad, and I think I'm going to toss these. Because I've known this for a while. I don't know why I haven't, but weed, at least those, really, it's not it for me, man. It's not it for me. At one point it was cool, but now it's like, it's not the kind of fucked up or like headspace I want to be when I do something. Mushrooms and alcohol is much better for me. Mushrooms is the best, I think. Then alcohol is the second best, because it's like it's more like involved, I suppose. So these will be thrown away, or I might give them to my roommate if he wants them. But yeah, I'm done with those. I also have a pin which I've had for a long time, which I didn't use because it was dead more or less. I don't think I'll throw that one away because I've had it for like nearly 2 years now. I hardly ever use it, so I think I might keep that one for now. Anyway, so I took that, freaked out, kind of, and then I'm like, you know what? I feel really good to watch porn right now. So I did. I watched some porn. I wasn't wrong. It did feel very good. Unfortunately, it carried over into the morning too when I woke up. So I ended up coming 3 times the night before, throughout the night, kind of, till I basically got it out of my system, I thought. In the morning, unfortunately, that's not how porn works. You don't really get out of your system. In the morning, it still lingered, and I faltered, and I came twice more. But I've been okay now. I got a hold of myself, and I really felt like I ruined that. I'm really bad at feeling like once I do something wrong, my day is ruined and my day is wasted. But I managed, though I woke up really late and didn't have much of my day, I managed to kind of get a hold of it a little bit. I went outside, went for a walk, I watched some of the fireworks. I cooked my muesli, my meal prep, and I was going to do my main meal prep, but it got so late I decided to actually sleep instead of stay up. So I slept, and whenever I get off this video, I'm going to make breakfast, and then I'm going to cook my meal prep. I just when I was on mushrooms too, I ended up like cleaning the entire like living area, so like I actually got stuff done. But today, basically what I'm doing, so that's what happened, that's what failed. The way I'm fixing it is by like holding on by still doing some of the other things I need to get done. Like I did my muesli, I cleaned up and stuff. Today I need to do my main meal prep. I need to prepare for D&D tomorrow. If I can, I need to clean my room, and I need to write a D&D recap. So I have a lot of stuff I need to get done, or try and get done today. But I feel I'm definitely in with not being able to go outside and do stuff. I kind of feel like I'm spiraling. I feel like I'm teetering on the edge of a tightrope, and I'm starting to get dizzy. And it feels like I might fall off in any direction at any point. And that relapse was totally my choice. Like I knew what I was doing in the moment, and I ended up having I think it was later in the evening when I was really tripped out with that edible. I ended up having a thought while high, a fleeting thought that disappeared, and then I had to fight. I had to tooth and nail scrape it back to my consciousness and really digest it while intoxicated, which was hard. That was a very hard thing. But the thought was kind of, I still don't know the best way to describe it. It's basically this. I'm worried because, so I relapsed. However, I also forgive myself basically right away because I'm like, okay, it's a struggle. You're not going to be able to drop everything right away. It's a progress. It is small steps at a time. You can't just be healthy right away. So I understand that it's expected for failure, and that I should accept that and not bully myself over it. And then I start having the thought of what happens. It's kind of scary to be able to accept that so easily, because I feel like most people go through a phase of just absolutely beating themselves up and not being able to accept failure. So what happens if I am too easy to forgive myself? What if I do all these things and I forgive myself too much and it becomes a problem? When does forgiving myself become a problem? Well, it becomes a problem whenever I'm doing something that a healthy person would realize to be it becomes a problem whenever I'm forgiving myself too much, and when it should be obvious. Like whenever I realize I'm forgiving myself too much. And then I was saying, how do you solve the issue of forgiving yourself too much? Well, you have to beat yourself up more. You have to be more strict. And so I was trying to go through this thing while high, where it's worried about when do you know you cross a line of forgiving myself too much. Now it's okay to beat myself up, and I'm not just being crazy. And when do I know to switch from forgiving to being harder on myself? And I had a long kind of thought about that, because it's kind of hard to realize, because I'm naturally forgiving myself, and I kind of feel like, since I'm not going through the phase of maybe I have in the past, of like super beating myself up. Like, what if I end up forgiving myself too much and nothing changes? And like having to come to terms with like I have to like walk this tightrope of forgiveness and strictness all at the same time, and hope I can, have the certainty to like understand. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I don't know what words I'm using anymore. I'm like actually going off the rails. Anyway, the point is, it's kind of like I was getting worried that I wouldn't be able to recognize when I was doing too much of one and not enough of the other, or when I should like correct, or what if I overcorrected. And so that was a thought I was having that kind of worried me. I was kind of afraid I was being like too optimistic and too like lenient. But I mean, I really am doing better than I have been. Yesterday I had an extreme. This has been one of my main first weekends doing this. I had a bunch of FOMO and like missing VR chat and my online friends. Felt very alone, I suppose. So that was that. I suppose also, we're currently listening to it. We're listening to something I want to put you all onto if you haven't heard of it. Sydney Lee, the album Diamond Jubilee. It's very good. I ended up listening to it after I took that edible, which was a mistake. There's some songs in here that like I woke up and like they were very hypnotizing and very good, but then some were like sent me into like evil panic attacks where it's like where they were just like, I don't know. It was very powerful. I've listened to it sober, and I listened to a lot of it while high. I ended up having to come to my room and just turn off the headset and go to bed because it ended up messing me up too much. But that's about how that went. I'm trying to think, what else is there? But yeah, I mean, today I got my plans, what I have to get done, or what I want to get done. And I think as long as I like hold on and get these things done, I'll be okay. I've relapsed, but I haven't spiraled out of control yet. I've caught myself, and I'm holding on, and I'm scratching my way up. And I'm struggling to understand, like, I'm struggling with the fact that I'm able to forgive myself, which is kind of, I guess, interesting. I don't know how else to put it. It's kind of interesting. I'm struggling with the fact that I am able to forgive myself, because I feel like I should not forgive myself. Even though I know, like, I've been doing this thing. I saw this thing where what someone does is whenever they think about doing something, they ask themselves, what would a healthy person do? What would a healthy person do? And I've started trying to do that a little bit more. I'm like, well, what would a healthy person do after this relapse? They would forgive themselves and try and keep doing the other stuff they need to get done, not just sit there. I've been trying to do that. It's kind of been helping, I think. It's been helping. Whenever I can do that, it allows me to kind of step away from myself and like depersonalize with like my issues, and like kind of drop some of the emotions I have connected to them that like blind me. And it kind of lets me kind of be like, okay, a healthy person do this. It's kind of like I'm giving advice to someone else. There's that saying that like whatever advice you give to someone else is the advice you should use, or something along those lines. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like that when you stop and ask, what would a healthy person do before you do something? So I'm trying to do that, and I think if I keep this up, I'm going to be making progress. I said it before, I think in several weeks I'm going to be looking very different. I don't know if it'd be less of a struggle, maybe. But I think as time goes on, things are going to get better, and I just have to watch myself and make sure I don't forgive myself too easily. I think I might be kind of fortunate, and when I do forgive myself too easily, I kind of like feel it. I kind of feel sick. But no, I'm going to get everything done. I think I'm going to end this video and go start working on the stuff I need to get done. Thank you for watching. Until next time, adios, I suppose.